if you're applying to US universities, you're most likely going to be applying to the common application. So that has one main essay, and you write that essay, and I believe that one essay will go to all the other universities. So for my essay, they usually give you options, like write this one or that one. So what I ended up doing is I actually wrote on 2 different topics instead out of I think 5. So I wrote 2 different essays, and then I had a couple of my friends, the alumni that I was talking to, read those essays, and they actually gave me feedback on what could be improved, what can change. So I basically wrote a draft of my essay. I did this in October 2015. Keep in mind there's 2 months left for my application at that procedure. So I wrote those essays, and I decided to like change things up, and ultimately I went with one of the essays. The reason I did this is primarily because I wanted to have an option to see that, oh, if this isn't getting my story across, this might be doing a better job at it. So I decided to do that. Honestly, it did take a little bit more time, but I was trying to make sure I was the perfect candidate for whatever school I was applying to. Communicating with those alumni also helped, as they were able to like give me feedback, as they have already gone through the admissions process. So they probably had a sort of an idea what could work and what couldn't. So that was the first thing. A lot of universities now require supplemental essays that are very much catered towards that. So University of Rochester had a supplemental essay. I am blanking on what the prompt was, but it was something similar to what is that something unique that you're bringing to the University of Rochester that can help grow the University of Rochester as a community, right? So that was very important, and I really liked that. I personally didn't do any interview when I was applying to Rochester, but I did have the option, and in hindsight I should have done it. But now, as interviews are becoming more and more essential to your application procedure, the reason behind that is quite simple. They're getting thousands and thousands of applications every year. What makes you stand out? Oftentimes it's easier to like explain what stands out in terms of specifically you when you're applying to when you're having these one-on-one conversation with one of their admissions officers or admissions counselor. So personally, I actually worked as an interviewer for the University of Rochester for the past year and a half, and that was really important, and that was really actually a lot of fun, getting to know these potential applicants and learning more about them. And oftentimes these are blind interviews, so we don't have any idea we don't have much of an idea about what else is on your application. So this is really important because this gives another perspective as the interviewer is getting to know you on one-on-one. So do those interviews. They're really, really important. Primarily for 3 factors. The first one is the fact, and this sounds generic, but financial aid. The University of Rochester offered me a Dean Scholarship, which is a merit-based scholarship, and that was something that was a huge attraction to me compared to the rest of the universities. The second thing that was very important to me was the student body. So I had reached out to a couple of alumni, and they gave me like little bits of overview of their time at the university. This was really helpful because it gave me an insight into how the university is and how welcoming they are to international students, or in general how the atmosphere is on campus. So talking to students, students from your prospective university, is always helpful. So that was something that I applied to when I was applying to college, and I also looked at that when I got accepted to make my decision. So that was also very important. The third thing was the variety of activities that was really open to me, which was University of Rochester has 300 plus clubs on campus. There's something for everyone to do. So if you're interested in, say, knitting, there's a knitting club. If you're interested in learning how to play basketball, there we have basketball teams. If you're interested in debate, we have a debate team. I was involved in debate, and I was also part of the South Asian Club during my 4 years at the University of Rochester. So the last thing that I think is very unique to the University of Rochester is its open curriculum. We do not have a general education requirement, which basically helps us be able to learn. So it sort of allows us to create our own curriculum during our time at the University of Rochester. Obviously, as an engineering student, I had a little bit more of a restriction than the rest of let's say humanities or social science student, but either way, it really helped because I was able to take classes that I was very interested in. So I was able to take like humanities classes and social sciences classes. I actually ended up getting 2 clusters, which is a group of 3 classes in legal studies and political science. So that was really helpful for me and something that really attracted me because I've always been interested in political science, but I didn't think I wanted to major in it. So the international students actually get on campus 2 days before the domestic student. As a result, they get two more days of orientation, and they get an international orientation where they go over various resources. So this is where I'm a little different. While my application process was as an international student, I got accepted as an international student, but right before I came to Rochester, New York, my status changed from international to domestic student because of the change in my residency. So I didn't get that full international student orientation perspective, but I do know about various resources that's available, and they're mostly available through the international student office that is on our campus that helps students navigate various issues such as the social security number, such as receiving the social security number, or getting used to the campus atmosphere, getting a new SIM card, getting to Walmart to buy various things that you might need for your dorm room. So these are the resources that are available. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer. And good luck with the admission process.